am not Brian. I think I did change my name. It's kind of funny because I showed Brian how to use Zoom initially, and then he's used it for a lot more than I use it. I use it daily, but I just actually start calls and do the calls, and I don't do a lot of screen sharing and stuff. Which reminds me, I need to open the PowerPoint really quick that he sent me. But thank you for being here. Let me get the PowerPoint open. And we have Lisa as a guest, who's our guest speaker. And Joyce Higashi, it was one of the, was it the Optimist group? What was the meeting
No,
that
it was
Brian?
Willow Glen Toastmasters.
Toastmasters, that's
Yes.
it. Brian crashed one of their meetings and invited them to join us today if they'd like. So it's great to have you here. We always start with the flag salute. And let me see if I can get this going. I probably need to share my screen. Jerry, you should be doing all this. You're the secretary.
Yeah, no.
So you're probably getting everything here. Brian usually plays a little video here, but I can't find the little video. So rather than us listen to a video of somebody doing the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll just do it all together, and it'll be kind of a hot mess, but it'll be good. So, Jerry, can you start us off?
I
Pledge allegiance
to
to the flag
Of
of the United States of America
and
and
to the
to the
republic
republic
for
for
which
which it stands,
one
one nation,
under
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
and with liberty
and
and
justice.
justice
for all.
for all. Awesome. So we got
Very
that. Do you all see the Boy Scout with the flag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm doing something right then.
Hey.
All right. So we have our prayer, and I believe
Oh,
Reverend Bill O'Bynum.
really?
All
I'm
right.
gonna read that.
Dear God, we thank you for this beautiful day. It makes us feel happy and so fortunate to be alive. Let us feel strengthened by the wind, the sun, and the clean air. May we keep our hearts and minds open to find a path to happiness and to find ways to help others to find their happiness. Amen.
Man.
Thank you, Bill. Jerry,
All
I think
right,
you're our thought for the day reader.
thought of the day. Truth is still truth, even if no one believes it. A lie is still a lie, even if everyone believes it. All right.
That's true.
There's no lie.
That's very true. Do we have any, Rebecca, do you have any announcements or anything that you'd like to get out?
Sure. Thank you, Greg, for jumping in for Brian. And by the way, if y'all don't know, today's Brian's birthday.
And
That's
Terry's.
why he isn't here. Him and Terry are currently on their way to San Diego right now, but you could shoot him a text, an email, phone call, whatever your way of communication is. Send a pigeon, whatever. But
How old are you going to be?
probably younger than you.
Probably, okay.
I don't know. I'm kidding.
They're older than you think, but
I
not
know.
super old. How's that?
Yeah, he's older. He's distinguished. So so today actually is when we asked for RSVPs to be turned into Burke for our charter party, which will be hosted a month from today. Correct, Burke? Yeah, May 1st at the Horsemen's. It's a full day of fun because the actual kind of event starts at 3 p.m. And Burke, please jump in, correct me if anything. So we'll probably open the doors a little bit prior to that to like get people situated, get a drink and some snacks and things of that nature. So friends and family, spouses, whatever, are welcome. As mentioned, all necessary precautions will be taken to keep everybody safe and feel comfortable. We just need RSVPs in order to plan for it in advance. So please get your RSVPs into Burke.
And I think,
Also,
and Rebecca, I think Brian did send an Evite out. So electronically,
Yeah.
I think everybody should
Yeah.
have it in their box. I know I responded to it.
yeah, I don't see the RSVP, so I just wanted to remind everybody. And apparently
'cause-
he's taking the day off, so no, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Rebecca, is there a chance that we could do maybe, I know we probably have a board meeting coming up, but maybe a meeting sometime in the next week, just for us all to make sure we're on the same page with it?
Yeah, for sure. Because also too, let me just remind everybody that we are looking looking for people for volunteers basically to help with food or decorations, beverages, entertainment, AV audio, things like that. So yeah, so let's schedule something for the next week. Let me just make a note.
Okay, cool. I know Dave has a lead on a band, so
Yeah, baby.
Hmm.
We need live music. It's about time.
How does a girl get invited to the party? Did someone say live music and gathering people?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Well, I guess you just got invited.
Yeah, it's not
You
like it's a
still my heart.
closed party. It's the charter party is our yearly anniversary celebration of the founding of our club. And this year, Burke, I believe the theme is going to be the Kentucky Derby.
yep.
Oh, how fun.
And I think we'll probably be auctioning off the horses if all goes well.
If all goes well. We gotta go deep into the catacombs and find the old Kentucky Derby and Preakness. I love those ones from the Reno party.
Oh,
that your dad had from like the 70s, like he had every Preakness.
Yeah, they're here somewhere. They better be here. I don't know. I'm in his office right now. So they're here somewhere. I know I didn't throw them away. So cool. Anything else?
Let me think. The district training, so you guys know, in Taipei, Taiwan. Shockingly enough, it has been formally canceled.
Oh, the international conference.
Spoiler alert.
The international, yeah. So it'll all be done virtually, which Dave is highly encouraged to attend, which I think I'm sorry, yes, you're right, Greg. The Rotary International. Dave is already registered for, so then he'll bring back all the information to our club of what to expect for 2021, 2022. The district conference date at Gilroy Gardens has changed. The original date is slipping my mind, but the new date is July 17th. It's all outdoors. Fun day at Gilroy Gardens. So it would be nice if we had a good representation from our club, but we can discuss maybe doing a caravan or something when we get a little bit closer. For RILA, we do have our 4 participants, and of course, I'm a tyrant in regards to registration. They already completed their registration as of last month, not due to the end of next month, so they're all geared up and ready for the virtual camp in June. That is all I have at the moment.
Perfect. Anything else? Anybody else have anything from the floor? No? Burke, people that want to volunteer, should they email you?
You know what? Let's do, I'll work with Rebecca to coordinate so that we can do a pre-meeting, and then maybe if people do want and know they want to, yeah, they can definitely email me.
Email or text. Is your email changing?
No, the business one actually has, but I seem to get everything on 2 of them. So the andersbu@hotmail.com, that's not changing, but the banderson3@farmersagent.com is non-existent as of today, although I think it's going to be forwarded to my new one for a couple months.
Welcome to your retirement. We're cutting off your email.
Exactly.
That's good. Okay, cool. So our speaker today is Lisa Blanchard. Lisa, I'm going to make you a co-host because I think that's probably the easiest way for me to have you do the sharing thing. Lisa is the founder of Grateful Garments, and I will let you give us the whole byline on that. But Grateful Garments is one of the organizations that our endowment is happy to support each year. Make sure you send us the grant application again, please.
When's it due?
It's normally due in October, but you can send it in anytime and they'll put it in process.
Okay.
But it's a great program. We've been supporting you all for, I think, 2-3 years now at least. And so let me see, make you co-host.
Okay.
I think I've done that.
All right.
If
Hello.
it doesn't work, then I'll make you host.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nice to see you all. Your party sounds like it's going to be a blast. I am with the Grateful Garment Project, as he said. And how many of y'all have heard me speak before? Just trying to get an idea. Okay. All right. So there's a few that haven't. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the whole spiel for to catch up. So let's start with that. Let me share. Okay. So do you see this PowerPoint presentation that says returning dignity? Yes?
You can see
Yes.
it. Yep.
Okay, good. So the Grateful Garment Project is basically in the business of dignity. We help restore dignity to people who've had it stolen through some form of sexual violence. So that's a really big sentence. And what does that actually mean, or what does it really look like for us to do that? What that means is that whenever somebody is sexually abused, sexually violated, and they report it, they're given the opportunity to go to the hospital and undergo the forensic exam we know of as a rape kit, right? And when somebody goes through this process, which in itself is a really long process, it takes a minimum of 3.5 hours to complete, and it could be upward of 5, 7, 9 hours, depending on the nature of the injury and the emotional state of the person who is being treated. So somebody goes through this exam process where essentially they step on a sheet and they begin removing their articles of clothing one at a time. And each piece of clothing is then bagged and tagged for evidence. And then when all the clothing is gone, they do a forensic and gynecological examination on the victim. When all of that is through, when all of these different steps have taken place, and people are going to be wanting to go home finally, what are they going to wear home? Because they've just given up all their clothes. If there's not clothes available, what happens is many times people are provided things like paper scrubs or a paper hospital gown, which is kind of similar to wearing like a napkin home, if you think about it. And I just found that completely unacceptable. And I'm guessing by the look on some of your faces that you too are finding that unacceptable. And so Grateful Garment Project was started to answer that particular need, to provide new clothing for people to wear home after being sexually assaulted. Also, Grateful Garment started as a class project for my undergraduate degree. It had never been a plan to start a nonprofit. I was going to become a psychologist, totally different plan. And it was kind of like divine providence or whatever you want to say that just kind of caused me to turn left. My class project, my capstone project from undergraduate degree just blew up, just went viral overnight. I had no idea the vein of need that I was hitting. Grateful Garment Project started here in San Jose, and it is still operated and run in San Jose. So this talks about surrendering the clothing and everything I've just sort of mentioned to you. And It's really our vision that no one should ever experience further suffering or shame or any and all the feelings and sensations that come up after being sexually violated because they don't have clothing to wear home. Like that, it's just such an easy, simple fix in my mind. So what we do is we establish clothing closets where the examinations take place, and we stock them with every size between a 2 toddler to a 4-5X adult. So no matter what age, shape, size you are, there are always for people to wear home. We provide clothing for both male and females. There's no dividing line for sexual violence. Unfortunately, we're all eligible. We also provide grooming items. You can just imagine how valuable something like a toothbrush would be in that moment. And also food and drink items individually wrapped, because as a part of that examination process, they're going to be given like up to 9 forms of medication to take. And you can't do that on a stressed out, empty stomach. It doesn't work. It causes intestinal distress, and a lot of times they just can't keep it down. So you can see in this last slide right here, it says 1.1, but I have not updated it for the last year. It's more at this point closer to $1.5 million in resources. What started as that one program, which we now call Resource Closet, the resource closets at the hospitals where they do the exams, kind of organically through the process started becoming aware of other places where there were need around sexual violence. For example, what if the sexual violence was taking place at home, which by the way has been a significant problem during the COVID-19 shelter in place, right? But if the violence was taking place at home and home was not a safe place to go, chances are these people were heading to safe houses and shelters, group homes. And so they were going to need more than one set of clothing to get them home. They were going to need resources for 2 or 3 days. And so we added the additional program we call Human Trafficking CSEC. CSEC is an acronym for commercially sexually exploited children that are sold for sex and pornography. But this program allows us to start working with the safe houses and the shelters and provide not only the clothing and resources that these people need, but maybe things like bedding or towels, things that we take for granted every day. Pack It Forward is a program that we established to start working with law enforcement on the front line, providing them emergency packs when they do raids and sweeps and rescue people from commercially sexually exploited children or people that have been victims of human sexual trafficking. I'm going to skip Operation Esteem and go on to Dress for Dignity. Dress for Dignity is a program where we provide gift cards for people to acquire court-appropriate clothing. The reality is it's estimated that only about 6% of people that are sexually violated ever get their day in court. They ever get to seek justice for the crimes that have been committed against them. And so much about your credibility in court is about how you show up and you present. And so this program is about providing new clothes to not only provide confidence in a really stressful situation. For many, it'll be the first time they're going to see that perpetrator since the event itself, and also to increase their credibility in that type of situation. Beautification projects are where we just go into different organizations and agencies and maybe like make the counseling rooms more conducive. We do things like provide lamps so they don't have to have the really bright lights ahead, or white noise machines, or maybe new chairs in the counseling room, things to facilitate people's recovery to make it a more comfortable environment. And it sounds like you think, why would we do that? But so many times I go into these programs and these agencies, and the furniture that are in the counseling room look like they should have a free sign on the side of a road. They're just really shabby and really worn. And I think, and dirty often. And I look at it and I think, wow, this is where people are coming for recovery and to no longer feel dirty. And I want it to be an environment that is conducive to that process. The other program, our newest program, is the one called Operation Esteem. And Operation Esteem is a program that addresses a specific need. See, once you're 12 years old in the state of California, you are legally in charge of your reproductive health, which means that you can seek gynecological care, you can seek STD testing, birth control, termination, and you can also undergo a forensic exam we know of as a rape kit, all without parental consent or knowledge. And that's actually a super wonderful thing in so many ways because it's accessible. The thing is that any of these young people, you have like a 13-year-old that ends up assaulted and they come in for the examination one way or the other, and they won't let anybody tell their parents. And nobody can tell their parents unless that 13-year-old signs a piece of paper giving access. And so what happens is the likelihood of that 13-year-old ever coming back for any follow-up services, follow-up medical appointments, second and third round STD testing, or more importantly, all the counseling and the case management that is available to them, it's really low. It was about 32% of them ever came back. And the problem with untreated sexual violence for anyone is staggering. For kids, it's especially so. Youth who are sexually violated are 7 times less likely to graduate from high school, 3 times more likely to be a victim of violence again, twice as likely to be sexually assaulted again later in life. Also, you have all kinds of mental health issues, depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, self-harm, cutting, eating disorders, suicide, very problematic. That happened a couple of years back in Saratoga. A young woman in high school ended up killing herself because she was assaulted and it got out and she was so shamed, right? And so this program is really about how do we get these young people back, this kind of 12 to 24-year-old age, like this student, junior high, high school, college. And so what we discovered is they may not see the importance of coming back for themselves, the individual aspect, but they'll come back for a Starbucks card or a Jamba Juice or a Yogurtland or McDonald's, Taco Bell, all these different things. And so every time these young people come back for another medical appointment, STD testing, counseling, case management, whatever, they receive a $5 gift card. And we piloted this program in Alameda, Santa Clara, and San Mateo County. And the return rate went from 32% to 87% return rate in a 6-month period. It's a hugely successful program. And in this year, we're running a year-long campaign associated with it. We're calling the campaign itself Operation Esteem, and we are trying to raise 5,000 $5 gift cards to support this program. Every teen or every young person is eligible to 10 of these cards. And I'm just thinking to myself, like $50 compared to a lifetime of untreated sexual violence, for me, that's just like a no-brainer. I mean, it's very inexpensive, especially since what we know about sexual predators is the greater majority of them started off as victims. And if we can start to kind of crush that cycle, right? Get them back, get them treated, get them help, so that not only can they have a stronger trajectory in their life, whatever their new norm will be, but also that they don't perpetuate it, because sexual violence is a model behavior, right? Someone else typically teaches them if they do it. So there is definitely hope for the future. What started as a class project with one clothing closet at Valley Med has really grown. And we're 10 years ago at this time, I was doing that class project. Our official date of incorporation in the state of California is May 17th. We're coming up on our 10 years as a true nonprofit. And it gives me a lot of time to be reflective, of this journey and this mission that I've been on for the last 10 years. And, I believe it's possible to live in a world where sexual violence is the exception and not the rule, but we're not there yet. And, we at Grateful Garment endeavor every day to change that. We're there for those that have experienced sexual violence to the tune of 30 to 50 every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And we also try to gear our programs and do a lot of public speaking, breaking the stigmas of sexual violence and breaking the cycles of it, right? Which is really what will bring about change. I tell people always, if people say, what can I do? I'm only one person. I'm really clear that one person can do quite a lot. But the biggest thing we can do as individuals is we can talk about it, right? When I started Grateful Garment Project, the surefire way to shut down any dinner party is to say, hey, let's talk about rape. Like the whole room's just shrunk, right? People don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. It feels bigger than a lot of people. But I know that as long as we talk about it and we bring it to light, we have a greater chance of overcoming it. So together we can provide the resources. These are ways you can help. And then it says differences a dollar make, really, this particular slide hasn't been updated in a while. I would say it's probably about $50 for a child and about $75 for an adult, or 75 for a woman and about 65 for a man, to provide them everything they would need. And this is our social media stuff. Now I want to show you, this is our website. Can you guys see the website? Can somebody respond or shake their head? Okay, good. So
Yes.
this is our website. And on our website, on our front page, it's gratefulgarment.org. You can see that we have two initiatives going on. First one is Operation Esteem, which I just talked to you about. We're trying to raise $5,005 gift cards, right? And you guys have been wonderfully supportive in this. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for the support that you guys have given us. I also want to share a really exciting thing that we're doing, which is the virtual volunteer program. It's called Volunteers Amplifying Dignity. See, when when COVID-19 happened, not only did it blow like this $200,000 hole in our budget, because so much of our, we're a completely donor-funded organization, and so much of our work was done by volunteers and through having special events. And COVID-19 put an end to pretty much all of that, screeching halt. And so we decided that we would bring on some interns and have them work remotely. And when we put out a job description for an unpaid internship, we got like 350 applications in less than 72 hours for people wanting our internships. And what I got is that the need for volunteer hours is super, it's like an unintended consequence of COVID-19, is all the students that need hours for a high school graduation, or maybe they belong to their own community club, or for coursework, or college students that need internship hours or community service hours for their applications to college, all those things. Like, they were all struggling to find these things. And I thought, how can we create a win-win here? And so what we did is we created this virtual volunteer opportunity. And so you would just come to the front page and you just click on it. and then it goes to here. And the way that it's set up is it's as easy as ABC, right? So we have this chart right here. You guys seeing the chart ABC? And basically somebody designs their own volunteer opportunity. They go to the chart and they pick something from each column, right? And there are many things, as you can see, and this chart just continues to grow. And then they figure out what they want to do. What's one item from A, one item from B, one item from C, and then they click here to register, and then they can do their volunteer stuff virtually. And their virtual volunteer opportunity could be anything from, like, you know, write a news article for your local paper about Grateful Garment, or you know, knit a scarf, or paint a picture, or tell 5, you know, call 5 people you know and tell them about Grateful Garment. You know, it's just like all these different things, and the list is forever growing. And every time whenever you sign up for this and you complete this, you're given 10-hour certificate for 10 hours of volunteer time. And we soft launched it last month, and we just had a huge influx of young people. We had to control it because we were working out the kinks. Today is the official hard launch of this campaign. And so if you guys know anybody, regardless if they're students or not, anybody that's looking for volunteer opportunities, definitely send them our way. But especially any students, you know, that are needing hours. We are still hiring our onboarding interns, regular interns, but this is a way where people can obtain hours and help further our mission, help us get the word out about who we are and what we do, generate resources. And so it's very much a win-win. She was contacted from somebody at UCLA that wanted to know if they could make this available to their what's it called, scholarship students, because the scholarship students have to complete 35 hours of volunteer time, and they were having trouble being able to find 35 hours of volunteer time in the COVID world. So we're very excited about all of it, and we're excited to see what these young people generate. Because they're young and creative, and I can't even figure out how to operate my new cell phone. So on the Grateful Garment website, a lot of the information that I talked about today in my presentation, it's all available there, and feel free to help yourself with any of it. That being said, are there any questions? I know it was a lot of information.
So y'all may need to unmute.
Yeah, please just jump in there.
What's your market area? You know, you said you're located in San Jose, but how far out of San Jose do you go?
You know, thank you for that question. You're right. I totally forgot to say that. So Grateful Garment started here in San Jose, and now we provide resources in 50 counties to over 100 agencies in California. Over 94% of California's population has access to the resources that Grateful Garment provides or makes available every day, should they need them. I mean, majority of California is, we blanket. Do you feel like that answered your question?
Yeah.
Okay. What other questions do we have, folks?
So currently right now, a lot of people are doing a lot of purging of things, right?
Mhm.
But what we're finding is nobody's taking anything, regardless if they're clean, washed, dry clean, in pristine condition and so forth. So you have, what? Oh, do you have drop-off locations, and are those located on your website? Because I have a lot of people that are, you know,
Sure.
things are just going to waste, but we would like this stuff to go to good homes, or, you know, be provided in a way that it could be useful.
Yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. And I get these inquiries every day. The clothing and the resources that we're providing are more likely than not given out in a medical environment. And with that, they have to be new. So we only work with new. The only resource that we can accept, gently used, is family-friendly DVDs. So if any of you guys have DVD collections you want to purge, please think about us. Or if you guys all have hidden places for those travel-sized toiletries, we'll take those too. And then office supplies. You know, somebody's closing their practice, I see, and all those office supplies, if you don't need them and you want to donate them, we'll take them. Our last mailer that we sent out was completely sent out through donated envelopes that we recycled. So we do what we can to try to be green.
So you're not anticipating opening up a portal or whatever, because you talked about shelters that you collaborate with and so forth. You're not forward thinking of receiving things now to then distribute at a later point to those that
We
need
have a whole warehouse, and we are open to receiving stuff, but everything has to be new except for the DVDs, and then the office supplies and various things. We since we're going to use them internally, you know, recycled or upcycled or donated from someone's cash, so to speak. Does that make sense? Am I being clear? Okay. Rebecca, do you feel like I answered your question?
It's not the answer I wanted, but yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't give you the answer you want. It is really become a problem. We get calls almost daily of people trying to find somewhere to donate their stuff. And with all the COVID guidelines, a lot of these nonprofits just can't, it's not financially feasible to meet the requirements to have all the people, the volunteers working, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. But, you know, there's no, I mean, like for somebody else to go and buy all the gift cards and stuff, and they're like, this is what I have to offer you, you know, so yeah, I get it. But
yeah,
you guys are doing good work. Thank you.
My hands are tied.
So Lisa, is it just because of COVID you can't accept gently used clothing, or is
We've
it
never
always been that way?
accepted.
Okay.
We've
that's right.
never accepted gently used. Only thing ever was the family-friendly DVDs, because we're bound by the health code rules and regulations.
Got it.
And if, you know, more importantly than that, I think even if we could, we probably wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. You have somebody who's just been through what is probably going to be the most horrible thing they've ever experienced. They're feeling hurt physically and emotionally and spiritually, feeling used and abused, and probably pretty dirty, right? It's like a dirtiness that's really hard to be free of, right? And no matter how gently used those clothes are, no matter how clean they are, the fact that they were someone else's, you know, just kind of I can't speak.
Perpetuate.
Thank you. I know you know the word I was saying, perpetuates that feeling. As I trip over my tongue here.
Sure.
Obviously, I'm not a Toastmaster. Maybe I should be.
That's fine.
Bill?
Let me understand how you work with your general supplies. Do you have a warehouse that can then supply any of the places that clothes are needed, or do you shift funds to particular hospitals so they can have a supply on hand, or do you then buy for individual locations?
That's a great question. Thank you for that. First of all, we would never shift money to anybody because we're not a grant-making organization. We're a public benefit charity. But also, you know, a lot of hospitals, they're county, they're government related or that type of thing. And they have their buying guidelines they'd have to work with. They'd have to use approved vendors, various things. It ends up costing more money. In very many ways, having it run through a nonprofit means that we can do it for a much cheaper cost of accomplishing it. So how we do it is when we go into a new agency or hospital or new area, what we do is we work with all the agencies in that area and we establish clothing closets at their location if they don't have one, or if they do have one, we fully stock it. And then as they use up the resources, we have an online storefront that was created for us pro bono through a hackathon. And then that also serves on the backside as our inventory management system. So agencies can go in and place orders for what they need with a real-time accuracy on our inventory. Of course, it doesn't cost them $1. We donate everything, it's free, and we even pay for shipping, right? But all they have to do is go in and order. In the memorandum of understanding that we establish with all of our client agencies, what we do is we say to them, you cannot maintain more than 45 days supply of resources at any given time. Because we work with so many, like if they all tried to order a year's worth at once, that would be a real problem, right? But if they keep it at a 45-day amount, that way they always have enough, and and we always have enough to make sure everybody else is covered too.
Good.
And so they place the order, we print it out, and if it's within 50 miles, we deliver it. Beyond 50 miles, we send it UPS. We can pretty much get it anywhere in California via UPS in 2 days. And so it's usually a pretty quick turnaround.
I guess you don't have any insight into the inventories that the individual locations carry, so that you could say, you know, you don't have a extra small in this location, but they do have it, so call them. No,
we don't. We would never do that. If we didn't have an extra small, we'd make it happen. I'd buy some, right?
Okay.
So
Good.
that we maintain our inventory balance is the best of our ability. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but the things that we know that we're gonna continually need, like underwear, bras, shirts, you know, sweats, leggings, that kind of stuff, we do all that we can to make sure that those are never empty, right? Which would defeat the purpose.
Mhm.
So can I do a follow-up question to my initial one then?
Sure.
So you provide them the initial, step into the new life, right? And so forth. What resources are provided in the sense that, okay, obviously we don't want to perpetuate a negativity or something that's used, because you want to provide them something that's new and fresh, but yet without resources that might not continue for whoever it may be. What is an avenue to maybe utilize the resources that people do have that people would want in that manner that I was speaking about?
Well, that would be about the partner agencies we work with. They have their own resources, right? And also many times what happens is people that are in the situation, they're in safe houses, shelters, that kind of stuff, they're given access to the local community closets, whatever they are, Dress for Success, different things that are have. But
Dress
in
for
the world
Success
of COVID,
they're not accepting anything
Yeah.
either. Yeah.
in the world of COVID, like everything is really clamped down, and so much about it, as we open up, that will change more. But during this time, we have just been doing our best to make sure that all of the agencies have the resources that they need for the programs that we offer. Beyond that, what they're doing, I just don't know.
Okay,
I wish
thanks.
I had more information for you.
No problem. Thank you.
Other questions?
So Lisa, I know that you never intended for this to manifest because this was a school project. Do you have any plans to take it outside of California, or is it just you want to keep it in state?
So from the very beginning, I have received calls and inquiries from all over California and all over the US and even all over the world, asking me to take Grateful Garment wherever they are. And my response has always been yes. And what prevents that from happening is time, talent, and resources, right? We need really solid people on our board of directors that can help us hold that vision and create it, right? We need the resources to not only continue supporting the work we're doing here in California, but also to seed us if we're going go to Nevada or Texas or something like that. Texas is the second most densely populated state in the US, and they have a really bad score in the report card of sexual violence, especially on their collegiate campuses, right? And so we would really love to do that, right? Seattle, Washington has great infrastructures that we could just take our model and just transplant it there. But it's really about how do we sustain what we're doing here and grow at the same time. So is it my hope and dream? It's really my hope and dream that Grateful Garment is anywhere and everywhere that is needed, right? And that we are able to answer any and all need as we work towards creating that world where sexual violence is the exception and not the rule, right? And it just takes time, talent, and treasures, and people, the resources. So if you are moved, if that moves and inspires you, then Joyce, let's exchange numbers because we have opening on our board of directors. You're hired. No.
I've actually volunteered for you, so I know it's a great, it's a.
Yeah, you look
great
familiar. You look familiar to me. So do you feel like I answered your question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. So any others?
Any other questions?
You guys have been really wonderful. Not only is the club wonderful in supporting us, but obviously volunteers and just being receptive and as a whole. And you have supported Operation Esteem. It's my hope and prayer that you continue to do so and that you continue to get involved. Maybe share the information about our new initiatives and campaigns. And also, we are probably in June going to have a 10-year anniversary celebration, and we will definitely extend invitation to all of you to come and join us. So please do.
That'd be great.
All right.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for sharing your time and for the work you've done. It's been great. I remember the first time. I'm trying to think if you came. Did you come the first time, or did you and
Actually, the first
Katie
time
come at the same time?
So I was trying to remember that this morning. Where do you guys normally meet? I just want to make sure I'm thinking about the right club.
Well, most recently it was at the fish market.
Okay, but didn't you guys used to meet somewhere else?
Yeah, where do we meet before the fish market? Jerry, you remember?
Flame.
No, that Elements.
Oh, we were at
Where?
Elements out in Almaden.
Yeah, I think that's where I first spoke to you guys, actually.
The small.
And I know that the one time Mary Ellen Bray, our board president, came and spoke to you guys too.
Yeah,
think.
and then is it Katie McClelland?
Katie McClellan, yes.
She's come out a couple of times.
Yeah, she's our gratitude ambassador. She is a treasure. And she has the most beautiful handwriting. She writes fancy things for us.
So that's cool. So yeah, and please, absolutely, I know that our endowment board likes to, because our resources are limited, they really appreciate it if they get a request each year.
Yeah.
Because it
yeah.
allows them to prioritize. So absolutely, please make sure that
I definitely will make sure. Oh, there's no reason to wait until October. I'll get it in sooner.
yeah, and you can either, I think there's a link from our club website, or you can go to avrcendowment.org, and there's a link there too.
Go to the website and it's a grant application right there.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
It
Cool.
hasn't changed. It's the same one you've been using.
It's the same one. Yeah, it's nothing. We're very slow to make changes around here.
Just change the date.
That's,
Okay.
that oftentimes works very well for us.
That
Does
makes it
anybody-
really easy. Thanks.
Does anybody have anything else?
Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody. I am going to pop out. I have a 1:30 meeting and I want to go powder my nose. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys in the near future. I'll be looking for my invite.